Let's move on then, Rob, to a really, really key question. And again, sorry to keep talking about books, but that compound effect, that fantastic book again, which takes place in any financial setting. Just give us a real understanding for the importance of just how important it is to start all these policies, or majority of what you do, at an early age, or as early as you possibly can. As early as you find out. We may have people watching this who are 20, 40, 60. But, you said before, didn't you, that again, that old Chinese proverb, isn't it? The best time to plant a tree was yesterday, but the next best time is now. So just give us a flavour for how important that is to your client base, starting early.
I'll tell you, when you're talking about books, the best book that'll really enlighten you, and it's a real easy read, is The Power of Zero. And I forget exactly who wrote it, but nevertheless, that book itself will make it glaringly obvious that if you are doing something about your retirement, and really the sooner, it really illustrates that the sooner you get involved in a solution, the better and more cost effective it is for you. And it's not as painful as it could quite possibly be if you just ignored it. And because there's a lot of people, I don't even want to think about retirement. I get it. You don't want to think about getting old, I mean, I'm 55 years old. I work out 5 days a week, and I try to prevent myself from looking old. I try to prevent myself from feeling old, just the same. But, if you, I tell you, I love that book. And quite frankly, the only way I was able to convince my wife that we needed to get in a different vehicle was getting her to read that book. And she's like, now I understand what you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
And sometimes, my wife, I've been married to her for 22 years. She's 11 years older than me. We actually used to live 15 minutes from each other in the suburbs of Chicago. And we met in Tampa on October 13th, Friday the 13th, full moon 2000. And, we got married 13 months later, and my wife's birthday is August 13th, which 25 years from now, on my wife's 92nd birthday will be the next Friday the 13th, full moon. So there's a lot of 13s going on there. But being 11 years older than me, she knew more than me. And I really didn't have, my communication skills in order to convince my wife, 11 years older than me, that this would be the correct move. I was a diplomat and allowed the book to do the work for me. And it was the best result.
Yeah. No, that's fantastic. And for many people who maybe don't have the chance or haven't read that book yet, then there's a request and a recommendation for you there, straight from Rob's mouth, straight from the horse's mouth, so to speak. And I'm sure...
Yeah, you look at everything in a different perspective that's going to allow you to make the best decisions for you. Because you'll read the book and you'll be thinking of certain situations and understanding what's the correct course of action for you to take.
Yeah. And thankfully, with you reading that book, and what I've learned in this first episode as we come to close is that because you've read books like that and because you've educated, which we'll come to in future videos, I'm sure, with the amount of education and that you've put into yourself, that your clients can really benefit from that. You don't need to have read all these books, but I mean the ones in your office. If they use you, then they've got an element of all that information in their front room. And I think that's really key. I think we've learned that today in this first episode about that accountability, about that trust that's so ingrained, Rob, in your fantastic character.